Hello, animal lovers. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Furthest from the Wild. I am your host, Alex Deyo. A few months back, I had the privilege to chat with Carney Anne Nasser. She is a wildlife attorney and tiger expert. She also plays a crucial part in the new film by Michael Weber, The Conservation Game. We'll talk about all the changes that have been made since the release of the film and why the Big Cat Public Safety Act is so important. If you like our podcast, don't forget to subscribe and get that notification for more upcoming animal expert conversations. Come say hello. We'd love to hear from you. So, Carney, well, thank you so much for coming on to the show. It's been a long time since we've been able to chat. I know
I know.
I missed
It
you
kind of
at.
feels like just yesterday that we were in San Diego, only it wasn't just yesterday. It was like 6 months ago.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, we were
Yeah.
supposed to see each other in Santa Monica, right, at the conservation
Yes.
premiere there. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, you had some events going on. Is everything going okay? I know the storm was happening. You had to evacuate. How did that go?
Yeah, we arrived Friday morning for the Conservation Games theatrical premiere in LA
Yeah,
and super looking forward to seeing everybody. Um, and then it became apparent that Hurricane Ida was going to be much more robust than initially we thought. And
right.
so we no sooner arrived than we were rebooking tickets to just turn around and fly back.
Oh man, that must have
So,
been.
and we landed and evacuated and we were gone for 2 weeks. And so it's just been sort of a whirlwind and a time warp since then.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. That must have been so stressful and so. Oh man, I can't imagine having to. I mean, I can because I've actually had to evacuate myself here, living in
Yeah.
California with the fires.
Oh, wildfires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So but oh man, oh boy. Well, I'm glad everything. I hope everything turned out okay.
Yeah. Super fortunate
Good,
because like none of, our houses were fine and, we had place to stay and
good.
Um, yeah, really, really fortunate. So in some ways it was kind of a blessing in disguise. Like every once in a while, you have these forced moments of like family time or unplugging. And
Sure.
so my sons and I built the James Bond Aston Martin
That is cool.
professional Lego set. Like it was really actually fun
That's awesome.
um and binge watched a couple shows
Yeah.
and yeah, it was actually good.
That,
Very simple. Some nature walks. It was
that
good.
that's good. Yeah, that's good to hear. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I was lucky enough to be able to go to the screening again and to
Yay.
see the movie. Yay, support it.
Yeah.
I love the stuff that you guys are doing there, and I wanted to bring you back onto the show and just
Yeah.
see what's going on with the conservation game. I know you guys are getting a lot of play. You guys are starting to travel all over the world screening with it. What news do you
Yeah.
have so far since it's been opening?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible that we've had a ton of success in Australia, and I know that we're headed into the UK
Great.
and Spain, I believe Italy, Denmark. Like, there's just a lot of international interest in the film,
Mm-hmm.
which is really cool to see. And beyond that, there have been so many developments that the film has triggered, since we last talked, just like to sum up some of the things that have happened since the conservation game premiered last spring. Um, the CEO and CFO who were in charge of the Columbus Zoo
Yep.
during the time that all of the problems with the Columbus Zoo's use of roadside zoos and backyard menageries and auctions was happening. They're gone.
Good.
They were forced to resign
Good.
for other reasons related to financial fraud and
Sure.
embezzlement allegations. But they're gone. The day after the film premiered, Jack Hanna removed himself from public life. Susie Rapp, who was his right hand woman in
Mm.
all of the animal entertainment pieces that they did together, fraught with lies to the public and deception. She, quote unquote, retired
Mm.
very suddenly.
Very
The
convenient.
Columbus Zoo, though, has made some important changes, and they have really done the right thing under their new leadership, which is to announce that they will no longer be taking big cats or primates off site
Okay.
for any sort of animal ambassador type of programming or encounters.
Good.
So that's a really, really major change. And honestly, I feel like they've thrown the gauntlet down for other zoos that are engaging in those types of programs. I know we've all seen,
Yeah.
cheetahs at a baseball game, or from, whether it's the Dallas Zoo or whatever it might be. There are other, we have to remember, this isn't about like throwing Columbus Zoo under the bus. It's
Sure.
about changing an industry and practices that are counterproductive to legitimate conservation, and in some
Right.
cases very, very exploitative and dishonest.
Right.
And so the Columbus Zoo's new leadership, and Dr. Jan Raymer in particular, who's been very candid about her disappointment with what has been going on previously,
Right.
and the changes that they're making. They're doing the right thing. The AZA also revoked Columbus Zoo's accreditation.
Good.
And this is a huge deal
Yeah.
because the Columbus Zoo is like the flagship institution for the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, which has for the last 100 years been the gold star accreditation
Wow.
for zoological institutes in the United States, and in
Wow.
some cases out of the United States. So that was major. I
That's
mean, their
huge.
accreditation, was up for renewal.
Sure.
And so they were while all of this was unfolding about the financial fraud and about the embezzlement and about the Jack Hanna and the ambassador animals and,
Yeah.
Using roadside zoos to provide animals and pass them off as zoo species conservation program ambassadors and all of this stuff. At the time all of this unfolded with the conservation game launching, Columbus Zoo was under review for reaccreditation, and they didn't make the cut. So that's I know surprising
Yeah.
to a lot of people in the zoological community.